Guys, today we're going to take a look at this really nice little Boker knife, which is a sentence I didn't think I would ever hear myself say. Let's take a look at this Switchblade alluvial. Guys, this is the Boker Plus alluvial. Now, I have to say that Boker was a knife company for a lot of years that I just kind of associated with garbage knives, but their newer showings have definitely changed my mind. This is a push button out the side auto done in D2 and aluminum. And at first I thought these were FRN, but these are aluminum. It's got a really unique lanyard hole system. So this is the first day I've carried this, and I've got some mixed first impressions on this. So let's talk about the good stuff. This thing is absolutely a dream in and out of the pocket. Nice and smooth. The scales are smooth enough to go in and out of the pocket, smooth enough to feel comfortable, but yet have enough texture on them to not feel slick. They definitely feel good in hand. The button is in a good placement. There is no chance that you are accidentally going to deploy this knife because the button is recessed down in here. So in and out of pocket, it's not like you're going to bump that button and accidentally deploy the knife. So really, really good stuff there. The feel in hand is really good. You've got some jimping here that is good jimping. It's aggressive enough to be functional, but not too aggressive to be painful. You've got really good geometry on this. The ergos on this are really, really good. And because the lock mechanism is basically a button lock, you don't have any loss of ergonomics. There's no hot spots where the lock bar drops in and things like that. Blade shape on it is really, really good. You've got this really interesting almost removed swedge. So like where you would have a swedge here, they just removed that material. It gives it almost an aggressive military bayonet feel. It is a Lundquist design. The Lundquist designs have always been great, in my opinion. I have had very few knives that he's designed that I did not like. And then you've got a spot for a lanyard, but it's not something ugly. I find it really interesting. So you've got a hole here and a hole here. It just goes through the side. It wraps around, and you can have your lanyard either off to the side here or out the back, however you want it. And then the pocket clip is a true deep carry pocket clip. And I've got to say, this has got a very powerful action to it. It slams open. If you're not holding on to it tightly, it will come out of your hand. The edge on it, all I did so far was I touched it up on a ceramic just ever so slightly, just to knock off a couple little spots that needed to be touched up. And it is aggressively sharp. And it's a really good blade shape for a slashing cut and things like that, because this is designed to be more of a tactical knife. It's got enough flat that I can do the stuff I want, and then it's got a good bit of belly. And the blade to handle ratio is a little off, but I don't find it off-putting on this knife, because what that gives you is really good control. So I've got all this handle, and then I'm way up here, and I don't have a lot of blade out past here where it starts to feel awkward. And there is zero blade play on this. And like I said, Boker was a company that really got associated with garbage knives, and they've kind of redeemed themselves. I had a couple of Boker fixed blades that I really loved. There's been a couple of Boker folders that have come in that have been great. So I'm glad to see. I think that the Burnley ones that were coming out, the Quaken, were ones that really started to set that bar a little higher. So with that being said, there are a couple negative things. So let's turn this around, talk about the bad stuff right after you guys hear from Coffee Brand Coffee. Guys, you know I always talk about Coffee Brand Coffee. I absolutely love them. They are doing some really great stuff. They've got so many incredible flavored coffees. They've got plain coffees in different varying roasts. They always roast their coffee on demand. They deliver it fresh as you're going to get. They're not doing any conservatism or wokeism. They're completely apolitical. They come with a 100% money back guarantee. It is completely a guilt-free purchase. They're supporting this channel. I love their products. I drink their coffee all the time. You can't go wrong with it. If you guys want to support the channel, there is a link down below with a discount code built right in. You should try out some of their coffee, their tea, their cocos. They have got cold brew bags. If you want it and it's got caffeine, they probably sell it. All right. Just only a couple negative things. And one of the big ones, it's the you know, it's the elephant in the room. This is a switchblade, and they are illegal a lot of places. So before you up and decide you want to buy one of these, you got to look into the legalities of whether you can even own this knife where you reside. With that being said, this spring that's in this that gives you such a hugely powerful deployment is also kind of a problem. It is very strong. There is no way that, I mean, there's some people that would have a hard time getting that closed. There is no way you're going to do it one-handed. So that spring being that strong is great. And I have an example here of a knife that has every bit as good as snappy action. You can see the action on it is every bit as good. But this knife has got a much easier transition down. So it can be done. I think that the spring on this one is too strong. And I'm going to tell you one of the other things that comes with that is where it comes into that lock and hits that stop pin. That's a relatively thin stop pin. I mean, it's not tiny, but the fact is that stop pin is taking all of that stress. When you hear that, that's the blade hitting that stop pin. So there have been several knives I've seen that have broken either the blade or the stop pin because they have such a strong knife. Protex are famous for having very, very strong, sorry about that, I bumped it, very, very strong springs, and I've seen people have their blades break or the stop pins break. So there's that. And then the next thing is, I'm not in love with the plunge on this. It transitions back to what's going to be a pain in the sharpening. It's either going to chip your stones or you're going to wind up with a spot that you really can't sharpen and you get a smile on that. So you're going to have some issues with sharpening on that. I wish it kind of came up further up. I don't think there's a reason it couldn't. There's nothing that says it couldn't. It's just basically a button lock. A lot of other button lock knives, that's not in the mechanism at all. So, and then the final thing is it has got a horrible asymmetrical edge. Let me zoom in on that for you so you guys can see. It's got a horrible asymmetrical grind on that. So you would have to do a lot of resharpenings to get that even, and then it might not even ever come out the way you want it. So I know for a lot of people like, oh, that's not a big deal, but it is. It's just one of those little QA things that kind of gets overlooked. So all in all, it's a cool little knife. I don't know if it's something I would add to my collection, but we're going to carry it and we'll see how I feel about it over the next couple weeks. So let's turn this around, do some final thoughts, and send you out about your day.
So I know the intro, I was kind of joking, but all joking aside, this is a great little knife. It's really well made. There's only some minor things with it. One of the big ones is that it's going to be illegal for a lot of people. So I'm actually impressed with this. I'm going to have to be careful how I carry this and what I do with it because it is not legal for me to carry here in California. So we'll run it through its paces and see how it does. But stay tuned. We're going to take another look at this here in the very near future. Guys, that's it on this video. If you liked the videos, please give them a thumbs up. If you don't, please give them a thumbs down. But tell me why. Can't change the content if you don't tell me what you don't like. You want to support the channel. I say it all the time, Coffee Brand Coffee. I did an ad in the video for Coffee Brand Coffee. They are my primary sponsor, but there's also Tempered Trail below. Those guys each have a link down below with discount codes built into them. The coupon is built into them. My Coffee Brand Coffee link just went up to 10% permanently. Other ways you can do it. Sorry about that, guys. The garbage truck just rolled by. What I was saying, other ways you can do it. I've got an Amazon store down below. Take that link, pin it to your browser, use it for any Amazon shopping you're going to do. Doesn't cost you anything, but it does support the channel. And I have got a membership. It's all tier-based. There's a bunch of different ways to support it on that. But everyone gets access to exclusive content. Everyone gets early access to videos the second I post them. You have access to my Gilded server, which is just like Discord. It's a private Discord. And I have got giveaways that I do for the premium and baseline guys. They're automatically entered into that. And the premium guys have got a sharpening tutorial series available to them behind that paywall. Guys, that's it on this one. I love y'all. Keep it clean in the comments section. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. And I'll see you in the next video.